back to Crowned and Covered. And this is going to be part three of our podcast, Are You Equal to Your Husband? If you have not seen parts one and two, you do want to start with those, um, as it will be the beginning point of this podcast. All right, let's jump back in. I do have just a few more scriptures that I want to bring out to you today. And we're going to go, let's see, let's go to First Timothy chapter 2. And for this one, it says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, and then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman, being deceived, was in the transgression. All right. So, from this verse, we see that um, the woman is to learn in subjection. This is within the church. The woman is to learn in silence with all subjection. And then you see that she's not even allowed to teach or usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So these instructions are not given to the man, they are given to the woman. It shows the authority that the man has over the woman. And this is because it goes on to say, how man was first formed and then woman. So, because he was formed first, he was given that authority over the woman that was formed from him, from man. All right, and then staying in First Timothy, let's go to chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. And it says, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? And I pulled this scripture out because it again shows the headship that the man has. It shows that, and we read in the verse before this, that the woman is in subjection to him. This one shows the children are in subjection to him, and he rules his house. Um, I did not bring out the scripture in Genesis that shows that the husband does rule over his wife, but you can pull that one out. But yes, so the man has rule over his house, the women and children, and anything else actually that is in his house. He has rule over. Um, so yeah, that shows that there's no equality between the husband and the wife in the home. All right, and then let's go First Peter chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God. So these are women who trusted in God. These are virtuous women. These are righteous women. Adorn themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. So we see that these women are foremothers, the ones who obeyed God, The ones um who did well, they did well. They were in subjection to their husbands. That's powerful. Being in subjection to your husband is holy. It is considered holy to be in subjection to your husband, even as your foremother Sarah did, who obeyed Abraham. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, she obeyed him, calling him Lord. She knew this was her master, her Lord, and she called him as such as she obeyed him. And you can be like Sarah, a holy woman who trusted in God, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. To me, that's another powerful one. They're all powerful. I love the scriptures. I love the scriptures. I don't know why a lot of sisters, well, yes, I do. A lot of sisters reject what the scriptures actually say. It is because they are rebellious. They are just rebellious. The scriptures don't satisfy what they feel. And so they try to make it sound like something else. They twist the scriptures to try to make it sound like something else. All we have to do is be obedient. That's it. To the Most High's word. This is virtuous. I don't know why it seems so hard for some people to just be obedient. That's all we have to do. All right. So finally, I do want to go back to the Old Testament. I want to go to Numbers chapter 30, and we're going to end here. Let's start at verse 5. And it says, and we're going to go from verse 3 to 13. All right, Numbers 30, chapter 3 to 13. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear the vow, and her bond wherewith she hath bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows, or of her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul, shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. This is authority, and this is in your father's house. This is before you get to your husband's house. But what happens when you get to your husband's house? And if she had at all an husband, when she vowed, or uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. Your husband can make your vows of none effect. Of none effect. That is authority. That is power. Your husband can make your vows. You know how serious a vow is. Your husband can make it of none effect if he so choose. Let's keep going with verse 10. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband hath utterly made them void, on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her husband hath made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul. Her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. Wow. Wow. That is powerful. You can't even, sis, you can't even fast without your husband's permission. Did you just read those verses in Numbers chapter 30 that we just went over? You can't even fast without your husband's permission. He can make any vow, any oath that you utter out of your mouth, he can make it void. And you still think that you are equal to your husband? Really, sis? Really? You still think you're equal to your husband? Now, that is not to say, and I think that this is where a lot of sisters get hung up on wanting equality with their husband. That does not mean that your role that you have in the household is not important. That does not mean that your role as a helpmeet is not important. Proverbs 31, that wisdom of Solomon teaches that if you are in your proper role and proper order, you're worth more than rubies. Being a virtuous woman, you're worth more than rubies. That's a lot. But you do, sis, have to be in proper order. And trying to be equal to your husband is not proper order because you are not. You hear me, sis? You are not. We have to get in proper order to be pleasing to the Most High. Yes? Yes. All right. Well, I do hope that you did gain something from this podcast. I hope you learned something. I hope that if you do need to make those changes, you are able to. I love you, sis, and that's why I do bring this out. I do want us to get the kingdom. I want us to be in proper order in our households. I want our nation to flourish. All right. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Share this video with a sister that you think could gain from it, could gain some kind of wisdom or knowledge from it. And it will be all praises to the Most High. All right. And I will see you in the next podcast. Shalom.